It's time now for your business update with Cami Knight, who joins me on set. Cami, in just a few hours, U.S. businesses can finally start getting their money back on tariffs.
American companies can at least start applying for refunds on billions of dollars worth of tariffs. That's after the Supreme Court ruled earlier this year that President Trump had overstepped his authority in imposing them. A new online portal is opening this morning through US Customs and Border Protection, and there's some concern the website could experience some issues because of the scale of demand. We're talking huge numbers, $166 billion in tariffs paid by 330,000 importers. Nearly 57,000 have already pre-registered. Now, it's important to bear in mind, though, that nobody should expect their money back quickly. This is just the first phase of payouts, so not all the goods imported under the illegal tariffs will immediately qualify, and these approved claims could take between 60 and 90 days to process. As for the consumers, it's unlikely they'll see their money back because businesses have no obligation to pass refunds on to their customers, though a few class action lawsuits are attempting to force the issue. FedEx, for example, has pledged to pass down any refunds it receives. Now, in terms of the longer-term impact, there certainly will be a hit to federal receipts, and it's unclear how the administration plans to offset that loss. Though, of course, the remaining tariffs on steel, aluminium and other goods are still in place.
So, Cami, the roller coaster that's oil prices is also continuing this Monday.
Oil prices climbing again now that Iran has once again blocked the passage of most ships through the Strait of Hormuz. The international benchmark had settled on Friday at its lowest level since the 10th of March after Iran said it would reopen the strait, but Brent crude surged nearly 5% to about $95 a barrel on Monday, reversing losses from the previous session. No tankers crossed the strait on Sunday after those renewed tensions. The US and Israel's war on Iran has not only sparked extreme volatility on energy markets, it's also caused severe disruptions to the supply of materials made from oil and gas byproducts, including synthetic fertilizers and chemicals. Among those byproducts are the building blocks of the modern plastics industry, materials like polyethylene and polypropylene. Here in France, the situation is having a dire effect on what's known as the country's plastics valley. Brian Quinn has the story.
At this factory in eastern France, machines that would normally be cranking out stackable plastic trays now sit idled. The facility has enough raw plastic to see it through until the summer, but orders are drying up as clients delay their projects. Meanwhile, material costs for its inputs have doubled in recent weeks.
Under normal circumstances, the cost of materials for a tray like this is €3.50. Now it's up to €7 in production costs. The selling price was originally around €10. This tray, under current conditions, would now go up to €15.
Management has paused production for a week to focus on maintenance. Further north, this factory is still producing cookware and SIM card frames, but many of its inputs too have nearly doubled in cost. Polypropylene, widely used in food and medical applications, has gone from €1,400 per metric ton to €2,500. Raw materials can account for some 40% of the production cost here, and passing that along to customers is proving difficult.
The customer is a bit like us. The first price hike, they accept it. We've been through that with the Ukraine war. The second one makes them wince, and after the third, they stop talking to you.
The region to the northeast of Lyon is known as France's Plastics Valley. Not all of its inputs come from the Persian Gulf, but enough do to severely disrupt an industry on which the regional economy depends. And with many of the Middle East's petrochemical plants now damaged, it will be months, at least, before a return to any semblance of normalcy.
And finally, for business now, let's go to China, where robots are now outpacing their human rivals.
Big strides for Chinese humanoids over the weekend at this year's Robot Half Marathon. More than 100 teams set off in the suburbs of Beijing alongside actual humans, although admittedly, those runners might have been a little distracted by their competitors. You can see them there. There were a few wobbles, some crashes along the way too. You're about to see one just now. Some of them sporting trainers, some of them sporting Nike trainers, but it was a robot called Lightning developed by Chinese smartphone maker Honor that ended up taking the gold, not quite this one. Not just winning the race, but also beating the human world record by more than 6 minutes, crossing the finish line in just 50 minutes and 26 seconds. It shows just how much China's robot industry has accelerated in the past decade. You can see Lightning, the winner, just there. Last year, the previous champion robot was almost 2 hours slower.
That's incredible, Kemi. Thank you so much for that look at business news and particularly that robot. That was quite something. Thank you very much.